Hi guys, super excited to have Mr. Avi Becker, and today we're going to talk about for rent by owners. And Avi is the master of converting for rent by owners up in Santa Barbara, California. Avi, why don't we start? You were just telling me just before we got started about really who is that perfect for rent by owner that you could help, and who also is not. Can we start there on who's the perfect customer for you?
Yeah, thank you so much again for having me, Pat. It's always great to chop it up with you on these videos. So the for rent by owner is a total, I feel like, a missed opportunity by a lot of real estate agents, even the high level prospectors that are going after expireds for sale by owners. A lot of people overlook this segment, and that's what even makes it a bigger gold mine, because these people oftentimes really need our help. The perfect for rent by owner in my situation here in this market, which is obviously a very high end market, oftentimes are boomers, people even older than that, who have inherited houses, and they don't want to let these very valuable properties go, because even though they might be worth $1.5 million, they can oftentimes generate $6,000 or $6,500, even more in monthly gross rent. And a lot of these people are retired, so they do need this money because they might have some type of retirement package, but they're oftentimes not working. And the thing is, these people, not to be rude or mean, oftentimes have no idea how to be a landlord. They're not like multi-property owners. They have maybe one or two properties and they think they can go at it on their own. They usually take a couple iPhone photos, or maybe they don't even have an iPhone. They have some type of older phone and they just post it on Zillow. They don't know how to properly screen tenants. They don't even know how to show the house in a professional way. In a competitive market like here in Santa Barbara, they might still get a tenant, but they don't even know how to do the lease paperwork. They're not sure what this amount they should take on a security deposit. And they really need our help, whether it comes to just becoming a property manager for them and helping them find a great tenant, or oftentimes these people would take an offer if the offer was right enough. I've had multiple situations where I'm representing both sides and getting a potential double commission, because these people, they would consider an offer if it was right enough. They don't even know what their home is worth because it's been in the family since the 70s or something like that. So It's a full gold mine, not just for potentially getting rental listings, which then probably will turn into sales eventually, but just getting straight up listings.
Yeah, love it. So I can really hear the kind of serve first, sell second mindset in there, really coming from a place of how can we help you, and evaluating what we can do to serve them as a real estate professional. And then that just open up a ton of opportunities there. That's fantastic. So talking about opening up a conversation, like how do you do it? You've been the master of great text messages. We've done a ton of great content with Avi on his text messages strategy. Tell us a little bit about how you're opening these dialogues and exploring how you can serve these for rent by owners.
Yeah, I think the thing that you mentioned there that's really important, even before you hit the phone for a call or a text, is understanding your mindset. Because if you're thinking about this and your internal dialogue is that, oh, I have to make these cold calls, I'm pitching these people, I'm being salesy, you're immediately off to a bad start. But when you shift the mindset and you're thinking, okay, there's a lot of people out there in the marketplace that need my help, that are lost, that need a good professional to help them either sell the house, find a good tenant, find someone who can help them do repairs, it makes cold calling way more fun. And it makes it like, I'm gonna go find some people that need my help because I know what I'm doing and they don't. And even if you have 6 months of experience in real estate, you probably have a good camera person or videographer, media company that you can help them out with. Like, you have a lot more experience than these mom and pop on their own landlords, even if you're almost like a brand new agent, because just studying for the real estate exam gives you more background knowledge than these people. So I have a framework basically to say that I'm going to provide some great value. And here, there's going to be, of course, there's going to be people that say, I would never use a realtor, I'm doing this by myself forever. That's going to happen. But those people aren't a good fit for you anyways. You're going to find some clients that oftentimes you look like a hero to just by getting a $250 photography package, because they didn't even know that you could do that. So that's the first mindset, is that you're going to be out there to help and serve. And the second thing is, you're not there to just say, hey, I can sell your house. You're there to give a Rolodex of options. And the script that I really like to go to, whether it's call or text, and the thing to be wary too is if they're on Zillow and they're for rent by owner, they're already fielding calls. So it's not like they won't be picking up their phone. They're probably getting a handful of calls from potential tenants already. And so you'd say, hey, Patrick, I'm calling about 123 Banana Street. You're probably getting a handful of calls here. But the thing is, I'm not asking if I can rent it. I was just wondering how things are going, or if you're getting multiple applicants. I'm a real estate professional and I help a lot of people like you make sure that we get a great tenant. We don't have someone trash the property. I handle all the X, Y, and Z. And I noticed you did your own photos, and I was wondering if you're getting applicants and getting traction. You can even see on Zillow the days on market and the number of applicants. So you can know if someone's just sitting there like like the phrase, they're just
deer in the headlights.
Yeah, deer in the headlights, just like 30 days on market and one application. That's probably not ideal. And then the other great thing too,
so hold on. So just to go back to that script. So it's okay. You're just checking in to see, hey, I'm a real estate agent, but I also have helped many people with their lease. Or is that kind of roughly what you're saying? And then you're just basically saying, how's it going? Just like keep it simple.
Yeah, that's one strategy that I have. And then another strategy, if I have a buyer for that marketplace, I'll definitely ask, hey, this might be a crazy question, Patrick. You're probably going to hold on to this house forever. It's a great asset. I have a client who's really looking in the neighborhood. Would you ever consider an offer if it was compelling enough? Because you're probably showing it already, right? They're showing it already. So they might think, hey, what's one other showing if it's a potential buyer? And that's a great script. Would you ever consider an offer if it's compelling enough? Because
Yeah.
almost
Well,
anyone.
the upfront framing I think is great. I love what you said, which is, hey, I know this is a long shot.
Mhm.
This is such a great property. This is such a great investment, but I just have to ask, consider, whatever that line is. That was really good.
Thanks. And then what the thing is, you can shift after that. They say we might sell it in 3 or 4 years, or after we've held it in the family for a little longer. But right now is not the time. We're going to sell it. And you say, hey, I totally understand that. It's such a great location. And then you can shift to how are things going with the tenant application process? How are things going? Are you getting a lot of interest on that one? And you can say, what I like to do is especially now that I have a handful of these properties that I've had great success stories with, I say, just so you know, me and my team, we helped someone just like you with some professional photography, showing the property, screening, and we got them 9 applications in a week. Are you getting a lot of interest in your property? Because sometimes we're like, wait, these guys got 9 applications in a week. You tell a story that's in the same neighborhood or same sphere, and then they're like, wait, I'm missing out on this. What am I doing wrong? Sometimes, even if they're being they don't want to help, they don't want this. One of the Rolodex options, I should say, hey, Patrick, before I let you go, just so you know, I have a whole Rolodex of great home professionals, everything from painters, handymen. Is there anything you're looking to do before you get the renters in there? Then maybe I could give you a great potential service professional that could help you before you get the house rented. That's one where people are like, they're like almost thrown off. They're like, that's just pure value. I'm not trying to sell them anything. And that sometimes can get your foot in the door. We're like, actually, I need a painter. And then you give them a great painter, and a week later, they're saying, we painted the house, but we actually don't want to do this on our own. So sometimes the conversations will start a little standoffish, but as long as you're providing value, maybe checking back in with them, by the second or third conversation, they're like, dang, this guy's really helpful. And we don't want to be landlords. We're totally cool to give him X% to go manage it on his own.
I love it. So my brain just went to, there's 3 things going on here. Number 1, service is, hey, how can we help you in terms of, do you need help with the leasing, professional photography, preparing the home to make it more attractive? Because as real estate agents, we're really good at that. But also you guys, it sounds like you guys offer the lease option as listing agents. So that's number 1. And then number 2 is, of course, the long shot on a potential offer. Would they be open to that if it was compelling? I love that script. And then number 3 is the home service Rolodex. Hey, what do you need help with? And I'd love to introduce you to some of my resources and just be a great real estate agent and a good resource for you. That's amazing, dude. Again, serve first, sell second. It just works really well. We've got tons of options for you.
And the great thing is, even if you just give them your great painter, your Rolodex option, oftentimes you should collect the name. You're going to collect the email and the phone number. You put them in HomeBot. You put them in maybe your market update. And next year, after they've had a bad time with the tenant, they're probably calling you because you've been following up consistently. You're front of mind. Like these people, it's these type of calls. Like I can do an hour-long session of calling, maybe reach 15 to 20 people in that hour, and probably at least collect data from 75% of them.
Totally.
I'm not signing every lease for sure. I'm not signing every person. But when you offer these great services and you're just being there to help, oh, awesome, Patrick, you just need a handyman to come fix the door. What's a good email? I'll send you my go-to guy. And this is your phone number. Perfect. I'll send you my guy. And how about I'll just check in with you next week to make sure that everything went well.
Love it.
And it's such a slam dunk. And basically, we talked about this before.
Didn't you just get a listing from someone that you talked to, what was it, a year or 2 ago? I mean, you did the HomeBot. Avi uses HomeBot. He also has a really good email newsletter that him and the team, Joe and Garrett, they send out together. And then they just called you like after a year or 2 and said, hey, we're ready to sell. What was that?
My initial call with him was in 2022.
Okay.
So it was awesome. At the listing appointment, he had printed out 50 HomeBot reports and was like, do you want copies of this? He's a guy, old school businessman, everything. He liked to have folders for everything.
Yeah. We
just hit the market at 1.6, and it was because he wasn't a for rent by owner, but he was an out of town. It was a second home. That was a family home. They didn't rent it out, but it wasn't their primary residence. And I was doing some calls, and all these homes, like we talked about this, getting homes under management and thinking, well, you're an asset manager. And even if Patrick wants to be his own landlord this year, if I have his phone number, his email, he's getting my content, I'm checking in with him maybe once every 6 months. That's if someone says, let's say we have a call with Patrick and he says, oh, actually, thanks for offering your help. I actually just signed tenants today and they're going to move. Be like, in my notes, I'll follow up with Patrick in 3 months and just be like, hey, Patrick, sorry to bother you. I know we chatted 3 months ago. I just want to make sure that your tenants are a good fit right now and everything's going well at the house. And they'll be like, that's such a great value add and know what he's doing.
Really?
It's a 5-minute quick call. And now you're showing yourself that you're following up, that you know what you're doing, that you're providing value. And so I'm stacking every day. I'm trying to really do at least an hour of this for rent by owner call because I've had listings from it. I've had in the past, I really started getting back into these in like November. I've had 3 signed leases, and one of them is he owns a lot of property in town. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of other stuff for his projects. And then the other 2 have owned the property for a long time. And I bet is passed down from, both of them had passed down from their parents, and they'll probably be selling it in the next 2+ years.
Nice.
And they were both written me 5-star reviews on Zillow. You can still get a 5-star review on Zillow as the lease. And then the great thing is I'm meeting all these people. One of them's rented out for 6,500, one's 5,250. I'm meeting all these buyers or future buyers because they're talking about, yeah, the market's tough right now. We want to be here for a year or two. And I'm putting them into my database as well. And now they're getting my emails. I'm getting even Google reviews from them after getting them into the place. One of the guys, this is a fun story. This was one of the first leases that I signed. The guy owns a lot of houses in town. It was a 2-bedroom condo and he owns like a multi-unit property. And the guy who I found the property for, he is the head like manager now of the Tesla region for Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo. And so I had like an event and he let me take a Cybertruck and have it at the event. And you meet really cool people when you're handling rentals. And I think a lot of people forget about that, is that you're going to meet people that are going to be buyers soon, that are going to refer you. Even if the rent is only $3,500, in a year or two, they might be buying their first condo. So
yep, I love it.
This is a business model. If you really want to grow your pipeline and if you really want to expand your potential number of transactions, especially on the buy side and the sell side, for rent by owners is like a gold mine.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's free. It's free. You don't have to buy any services. You don't have to. The numbers are there on Zillow right now, and the only people calling them are people that are interested in the house. Not many realtors are doing this.
Yeah, I love what you just said. I also was recommending this for geographic farming. So for all my friends who are really trying to narrow in on a geographic farm territory, they're totally skipping this. Your whole story is why this is such a great strategy for the geographic farm. You're meeting these great sellers. You're adding them to you're getting the lease tenants on the way in you can convert them into buyers into your farm. So yeah, I love that. This is a great strategy.
I'm going to add one thing because it's not just the farming, but if you want to up your price point, you can look at those neighborhoods. Like people surprisingly,
great idea.
There's a neighborhood here called Hope Ranch, which is a really high-end neighborhood, average price point around $5 million. And while the majority of the houses are in that price range, definitely using professionals, I found one that was doing it on their own. And she was a lady in her 40s. It's their second home. She's going to do a big project on it. And we had a great couple of conversations. She ended up getting it leased out on her own. But she's a great lead for me. And now I have this kind of awesome connection with someone in the ultra exclusive community. And that was all from Mozilla for rent by owner. So I would say it's not just for your farm, but let's say you want to up your price point and you want to break into a new neighborhood. Great way to start.
I love it. Very well said. And any final words on what to do with these for rent by owners?
Try out this for rent by owner. I've had some really fun texts and messages from like Tom Ferry people or people in our ecosystem being like, I just did my first for rent by owner call and now I have a listing appointment for this house. Like it works quick. It's one of those ones where you can do one deep session of dialing and set 1 or 2 appointments that day. It was actually pretty funny. I was at the lounge after Elite Retreat. This is the last story I'll tell. I was with Holly and Chris, one of our mutual friends, and I was telling them about this strategy.
Right.
We had a layover and I was like, okay, I'm telling you about it. Let me just show you. And I went, I found a good one. I called it. I set the appointment that day. And now it's currently active for rent for 6,500. Like I got it. I was right in front of them. Just here, this is how it works. And that's how quick this can happen. And the second thing I'll say is, Pat, I just want to say I'm grateful for you. The whole year of travel, the Airbnb property, every goal that we've set together, we've hit. So if you need a new coach, if you're watching this and you want to join the Tom Ferry ecosystem, it's the best money you'll ever spend. I know Pat has some great events coming up and he's really the appointment master. We've taught me so much and now we can work back and forth. But when I first started, I knew nothing about how to set appointments and I got a lot of value. So definitely check out Pat's YouTube channel if you've never been here before, because there's so much value on that.
Yep. And then since you're going to Aspen and having such a great time, you're not going to be at the first tag event, but we'll get you on the next one.
Yes, I am at the next tag event. I was supposed to be at the first tag event, but then we'll make it happen.
Rock and roll. All right, guys, we'll get some more text messages and some scripting out of you in the future. I'm in. Perfect. Hey guys, we got some exciting news. I've created a new training program with my brother, Tom Ferry. It's called the TAG event. Now, TAG stands for the Appointment Setting Game. These 2 days are designed to help you create a massive breakthrough in appointment setting. We have nothing but one focus. Over the 2 days from 8:30 until 4:30, we're going to figure out exactly what it's going to take to help you create as many listing appointments and/or buyer appointments as we possibly can. You've got me, you've got some of the other Tom Ferry coaches and some of the other great agents. We will help you with role play. We're going to provide you all of the prospecting phone numbers that you need, compliments from RedX, and we're going to give you all the training and the insights on how to explode your appointment setting. The first one is February 27th and 28th, so it's coming up at the end of this month. This 2 days may not be available, but you're interested. So down below, if you want to look at the details, get yourself registered, just grab that link down below, tomferry.com/tag. But if you want to be on the wait list and you want to learn more about the up and coming ones that we're going to be doing, I'm going to give you another wait list link down below and just put a little email there and I'll keep you up to date on what's going on and the next event. All right, let's do this. If you want to have an absolute explosive first half of 2025, then the tag event is 100% a yes decision. All you have to do is just go down below and take a look at the tomferry.com/tag event. Click on that link, take a look at the details. Take a look at what we're gonna do, what we're gonna offer, what the cost is, where it's at. Get yourself registered, and I look forward to this being one of the absolute best events of the year where we create explosive growth in appointment setting for you.